Welcome, everybody. Welcome, and happy Sabbath. Let me show you this real quick because I was talking about this. No, I was talking about, this political system of Jamaica, and I'm speaking of Jamaica, but it's applicable to most of those countries that were formerly colonized. Their political system is similar, right? If not identical, but very, very similar. So, and I was talking about how that to break this yoke, right? We have to understand the yoke. I don't think we understand the yoke. The first thing about the yoke is that we should understand that, and I have said this before, that democracy is Christianity's brother. Democracy is Christianity's brother. As long as you remain in the Christian church, you'll not be saved. And if you believe in democracy, you're keeping that chain upon your own neck because they both were given to us by the same people. So I talked about this, right? And we talk about the executive. I'm gonna do this real quick, right? So we talk about the executive, and I showed you how the monarch is the king. This is Charles, this is he, right? That's him right there. And how that he's the head of the Jamaican. This is the Jamaican system, but most others are the same way. All right. And then you have the governor general who is under him, and then the prime minister. So these people are in charge, and you can't vote them out because they were never voted on. So the prime minister here, Andrew Holness, is him right now, right? He's the one now. He is the prime minister. He's the one that people vote for. And by the way, there's another thing about the voting system, especially in Jamaica. I'm not going to go into it today. It's really funny. It's really funny, and a lot of people don't understand it. But anyways, so he's prime minister. And then below him, you have the cabinet, and it says the ministries right here, the ministries, all right? So under the ministries, you have this one, foreign affairs, and I wanted to talk about this one. So you have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So if you open this here, it shows you the construct of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Here we have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs under Foreign Relations, and that's one of the ministries. And in that ministry, we have this lady, Kamina Johnson Smith. She is current. All right, and you might say, oh, Brother Judah, we have all these people that are Israelites, and we have the Israelites, and we have our own people, right? That's what we think, right? But you see this lady right here? Let me show you, because I found out about her. She is, and you can read about her if you just go over to this highlight here. It says that Kamina Elizabeth Johnson Smith is a Jamaican Afro-European. I repeat, she's a Jamaica Afro-European heritage, right? She's an attorney at law, and she's a senator. She's a senator. Johnson Smith is Jamaica's first female. This is another thing that they get us with this first female thing. Watch it. All right, so she's the first female minister of foreign affairs and foreign trade since 2016, right? And she's currently serving as foreign minister. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to click on this lady. We're going to click on her. So we're going to click on her. And this is her profile. Anybody can do this, right? And this is she, nice smiling lady. And she's an MP. You see here it says she's an MP. It means she's a member of parliament right here. You see it? MP, she's a member of parliament. That means she was elected. So we're going to read some things about her, right? Andrew Holness is the prime minister. She was born in St. Andrew, Jamaica. She's a member of the Jamaica Labour Party, which is the ruling party today. And I'm not arguing against any parties. I'm showing you the yoke that's on our neck. All right. So it says her relatives, and it says her father is Anthony Johnson, the father, right? Tony Johnson. Now I know this guy since I was a baby, right? Anthony Johnson. And so let us just look at something. I'm gonna make it big so you can see it. I'm gonna show you the yoke that we have to deal with. So this is about Tony Johnson, her father. And it says Tony Johnson was a Jamaican politician, a diplomat, an economist, and a university lecturer. He was a Jamaican Labour Party senator and a JLP member of parliament. So he was a in the government, right? He was an ambassador to the United States and the High Commissioner of the United Kingdom. Now remember, Charles is the head. And this guy was the ambassador to Charles, from Jamaica to Charles. Well, at that time it was the Queen, right? But same difference. So what we have is that his daughter, this man's daughter, is now in our government today, right? And that is she. And she is the Minister of Foreign Affairs. So what do you think she is doing on the behalf of the Jamaican people? Zero. Zero. But she is the person, one of the candidates that was put up to be voted for during the election. So when the people voted, and I guarantee you, if they voted for the PNP equivalent to her, it would be the same thing. All right, so let's take it back. Let's go back because I want to show you one more. All right, so let me do this. Let me go. I'm just going to go back to the Jamaica thing. Now, family, the America is worse. Babylon the Great is worse. I know a lot of people like to say, oh, we are living in a democracy in America. It's worse. All right, so we're back. This is again the executive, right? This is how it is. And we're going to talk about this man, the third in line. We're going to talk about the third in line, who's the prime minister. He is Andrew Holness, right? This guy. This guy. Where is he? All right, and he's a politician. He's a Jamaican prime minister and so on. So we're going to click on him. I'm going to show you something about this guy, right? So this is his profile. Bring it over here so you can see it, right? This is his profile. He was under the monarch. First monarch was Queen Elizabeth. Next monarch is Charles. So Charles inherited and he grandfathered into Charles's monarchy, right? He's the prime minister of Jamaica. And it just goes on to talk about him. We're going to go right down here. The prime minister before him, the prime minister after him. And then he being prime minister again, right? Because this is his second time. All right, so we're going to go all the way down, family, and you have to see it, right? So this man was born, this is him. Andrew Michael Holness was born in Spanish Town in St. Catherine, Jamaica. He's of the Labour Party, and his wife is Juliet Handel, this girl, right? This is his wife. I want you to see it, family. This is his wife, very nice looking lady. And it says, you have to see it. Juliet Holness is a Jamaican politician. This is his wife, She's a politician who currently serves as the Speaker of the House of Representatives. What? This man's wife is the Speaker of the House. And she's a member of St. Andrews East Rural. And she's married to Andrew Holness. There it is. And it's this prime minister. So this woman, this is her profile. There it is. So there it is. She is in the parliament, she is the House Speaker. So this is like Melania Trump being Speaker and Donald Trump is the president. This is what we have to deal with, right? So now, can you imagine the pillow talk at nights? Because it says it right there. Andrew Holness, the prime minister, is her husband. There it is. And this man answers to the Governor General, who answers to Prince Charles, King Charles. No. And family, this is just a small portion. This is just them five. And the same is true on the opposite side of the floor. And this lady was democratically elected, because there she's an MP, a member of parliament. She was democratically elected. And her counterpart, if you want to say that, on the other party, on the other side, is the same way. So if you believe in democracy, which I know the Jamaican people are soaked in this democracy, it doesn't matter who you vote for. You're serving the king, and you are a subject, and you're a slave. And did you know that when they claim to have given up slavery, right, during the emancipation, and I think 1863, they gave up the slaves, and the slave owners have to give up their slaves. Do you know that the Jamaican government paid them for losing their slaves? There was a loan that was granted to the new colonial government. A loan was granted to the new colonial government to pay out the slave owners, to pay them off for losing their slaves. And the government, the colonial government, must tax the people of the country to pay back that loan. So we paid them to lose us. And I was surprised to find out that that last payment on that loan was done in 2015. In 2015, the Jamaican people, through taxation, paid off the loan that was granted to the colonial government to pay the slave owners to lose their slaves. And we paid interest and compound interest upon it for hundreds of years. And it was paid off in 2015. And so you have to ask yourself the question, first of all, who agreed to that? How are you going to pay the people that gave up their slaves, the criminals that gave up their slaves? Or the slaves paying them to lose them with interest? While following first the colonial government, which never allowed the people themselves to vote, right? The voting was done in the House of Commons and Lords amongst them. And then when they decided that independence was to be given to the slave, the same Houses of Commons created the two parties. And they took premiers from the two parties to put them up as candidates to be voted for as prime minister. So we are voting for the colonial leaders to be prime ministers over us. And then they handed down the legacy, so to speak, to their family members, as you can see. So on both sides are the family members of the House of Commons and Lords who made the first two parties, the JLP and the PNP, and all of them are family members, and they all are subject to the crown. So I say, family, that democracy is not our way out of this. We need to repent, and we need to ask Yahweh to save us. And he says he's going to raise up saviors. And it's none of these people, it's not any of these people that have been elected. Now, one last thing before you make your point, brother. I remember Abraham Traore, he said that when he took power, he said they came to him and they said to him, okay, we understand you took power, you didn't like what was going on. You took power, now please return the country to democratic rule. They always say that. They always say, please return the country to democratic rule. Why? Because they have this long list of people that they have decided on and have trained and have selected to put up as candidates to the people to vote on them. And the people are fooled into believing that they're choosing the right person. And it's the reason why he said, I'm not doing that anymore. And it's the reason I say that he is a man from God. So I thought I'd share with you, family, the extent of the yoke that is on us. And I'm talking about the former colonies, which we are still colonized, as you can see. And Yahweh save us. All right, thank you so much for that. And I will take Maria, and then I think maybe Irvin wanted to say something, but go ahead. Whoever was first.
I just wanted to quickly say, Brother Judah, I think the image of the beast is democracy that's being taught to be observed by all the nations around the world.
It's
That's just,
it's part of the element that contributes to it. I agree. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I agree. Thank you, thank you. And I think also, as I close, maybe Irvin had a point or a question.
The question, you said she was democratically elected. Who actually
Yeah.
voted? Who actually voted for her?
Well, it is believed that the people voted for her in her constituency.
People of Jamaica.
Yeah, of Jamaica. Yeah, this is Jamaica we're talking about.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I didn't know whether you were saying the parliament had voted for her or the people of Jamaica voted for her. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, the people voted. So during the last election, she was one of the candidates in her constituency, and the people voted. No, I didn't want to go into this. I probably do that another time. But so they voted for her, and she won her seat, and um, and so she's a member of the House, and she's the Speaker of the House, and she is Andrew Holness's wife. So the two of them talk about what they're going to do to the Jamaican people at nights, right? And then they're they're in close. Can you imagine how close this is, right? And they are working for the other guy up top, the British guy, the king, and the Jamaican people are screwed, and
Oh,
they're crying, and they say why is it that the government doesn't do anything for us? Why is it why we have to be suffer so much? And it's because we are the Israelites. And the scripture said that those that hold them kept them captives and will not let them go. All right. And I'm in my last minute. Jacob, go ahead.
oh yeah. No, it's Yvonne. So,
Go
no,
ahead.
from that last question from Brother Irvin, isn't the Speaker of the House now her position? She's voted on by both parties, the JLP and the PNP, to choose her as Speaker of the House. Is that correct?
Um, yeah, I think so.
Like
Is
our
that so?
Speaker here
Yeah,
for
or
the
either
speak.
that or I think she's appointed. Either that or I think she's appointed. I
Oh,
could look into that. Yeah, I could look into that. But either way though, the idea though is that any one of these people any one of these MPs that win that wins their seat are part of the puppet show, and and it doesn't matter. So maybe they could have chosen somebody else, but that person would just be another member of the club, right? But I just wanted to show how bad this is, right? That these people voted they voted his wife to be Speaker of the House. And family, I guarantee you that in any other circumstance, this would be appalling, right? That you would have agreed to have the Prime Minister's wife be the Speaker of the House, and he's supposed to be accountable to the people. You wouldn't want that. You would say, you know what? No, no, let's not give it. Let's not make his wife be the speaker. Let somebody else be the speaker, just in case there's a conflict of interest. But the people accept this because of this stupid word democracy, this evil idea. All right, family, I'm going to close it there. Thank you so much. By the way, this was just extras, right? All right, and with that, we just want to say all honor, all glory, all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahweh, and his Son, whose name is Yahweh Shai. Until we meet again, family, is Shalom, Shalom, and Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
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 This has been the informative discussion for this Sabbath. Thank you so much, everybody, and good night.
Excellent class.
Shalom. Great lesson.
Thank you.